Welcome to Shri Shripad Baba VMST lecture series on Srimad Bhagwad Geeta. Today we shall be imbibing the values and features of Akshar Braham Yoga, the discipline of chapter 8 of Srimad Bhagwad Geeta. Srimad Bhagwad Geeta is a scripture of 18 chapters. Each chapter is parallel to the values of the discipline of yoga. There are 18 aspects of the discipline of yoga. The 8th aspect is Akshar Braham Yoga. Akshar Braham Yoga is a formulations Akshar, Brahm and Yog. Formulation Akshar is of TC value 13. Brahm is of TC value 28 and Yog is of TC value 12. Together these make value 53, which is the value of the synthesis of a pair of solid dimensional ranges. Before we enter upon the inherent format features of these formulations, let us see that the chapter 8 is of the range of 28 shlokas. Now see value 8. If we have a values range 1 to 8 and if we reach at the factors in a spatial order, means if we are having a spatial format for the values, then value 1 will be of organization 1 cross 1 leading to 2 factors. Value 2 will be a pair of spatial units and value 2 leads us a pair of factors. So the summation value for the value 1 and value 2 is of 4 factors. Value 3 leads to 1 into 3, 2 factors. Summation value becomes 6. 4 is 1 into 4 and it is 1 into 2 into 2. It gives 3 factors, so summation value becomes 9. 5, it gives a pair of factors. We have summation value 11. 6 has 3 factors, 1, 2 and 3. The summation value becomes 14. 7 has 2 factors, 16, and 8 has 4 factors, so summation value becomes 20. Values range 1 to 8 is leading us to value 20, and these values are 8. This leads to summation value 28. It is one feature of the chapter 8. Chapter 8 with focus upon value 8 as a range of values 1 to 8 with the factors of values range 1 to 8 as spatial factors are 20. 20 plus 8 is 28. As such, the value 28 and the 28 shlokas range of chapter 8 is a feature which deserves to be comprehended well. Further, the second feature which one shall imbibe is that if we are having a format of an octagon, means the polygon with 8 sides Then from any corner of this octagon, we can draw as many as 5 internal diagonals. So the 8 corner points as such will lead to 5 into 8 is equal to 40 internal diagonals. However, we know that each diagonal is having a pair of orientations. Therefore, the superimposition of the orientations because of the spatial order will lead to 20 internal diagonals. These 20 internal diagonals plus 8 sides of the polygon will make value 28. One may have a pause here and take note that the values range 1 to 8 is leading to 20 factors and the octagon is leading to 20 internal diagonals. The value 1 to 8 plus 20 factors lead to value 28, and likewise 8 sides of octagon and 20 internal diagonals lead to value 28. It is this feature which will help us appreciate as that the Vedic systems are simultaneously availing the Yoga Nishtha and Sankhya Nishtha. Yoga Nishtha presumes the existence of artifices of numbers and avails the geometric format. On the other hand, Sankhya Nishtha presumes the existence of geometric format and avails the artifices of numbers. In the context of chapter 8, Akshar Braham Yoga of 28 shlokas range, we can first approach it as of a yoga nishtha, yoga processing systems. The yoga processing systems, yoga nishtha presumes the existence of artifices of numbers. So numbers 1 to 8 as values range 1 to 8 leads us to factors 20. These 20 factors together with the values 8 of values range 1 to 8 takes us to 28. So we presume the availability of these 28 artifices. Then we work out along the geometric format of octagon, polygon of sides 8 is to be availed, and polygon of sides 8 we know that is leading to 5 internal diagonals from each corner. There are 8 corners. It will make 40 diagonals. However, we know that each diagonal is having pair of orientations which get superimposed upon each other, and as a result thereof there remain 20 internal diagonals. These 20 internal diagonals together with 8 sides of polygon 8 octagon, it leads to value 28. Sadhakas shall sit comfortably and permit the transcending mind to be parallel to this organization format feature of the Vedic systems. Vedic systems are simultaneously availing Sankhya Nishtha and Yoga Nishtha. We know that Sankhya Nishtha presumes the existence of a geometric format and avails the artifices of numbers. On the other hand, Yoga Nishtha presumes the existence of the artifices of numbers and avails the geometric format here of octagon. So values range 1 to 8 and octagon format are being simultaneously availed for chase of the values and features of chapter 8. The chapter 8 is Akshar Braham Yoga. Akshar Braham Yoga is a chapter in which there are first two shlokas of Arjuna and the remaining 26 shlokas are of Lord Krishna, Shri Bhagwan Uvacha. The value 28 as such we know is a value which is of the organization 2 plus 26. Value 2 is the value of the spatial format and value 26 is the value of a manifestation layer of order 5. Here we are in a plane as value 2 and in plane the octagon is leading us to 5 diagonals from each of the corner points. Therefore there are 5 dimensions. So it is this dimensional order, this 5 dimensions format, which is further parallel to the 5 geometries range of 2 space. So 2 space, a square, is having 5 versions. So hypercube 2 is of 5 versions and 2 space has 5 geometries range. Further that 2 space as value 2 and 5 space as in the role of dimensions, 5 space in the role of a dimension leads to the manifestation layer of hypercube of 5, hypercube 7 with 5 space in the role of a dimension. From this organization, we will be in a position to appreciate that the text of Srimad Bhagwad Geeta is a text which is of 2 uvachas. Arjuna's uvachas are 2, shloka 1 and 2, and Shri Bhagavan, Lord Krishna's uvachas are 26. Let us sit comfortably. Let us permit the transcending mind to be parallel to these organization format features of the text of chapter 8, Akshar Braham Yoga. Akshar Braham Yoga is a aspect of the discipline of yoga which is of 28 shlokas range organization. Value 28, we know the TCV value of the formulation Brahm. This formulation Brahm, the value 28. So we can open a new page and start tabulating the features which are emerging so far. The value 8 and value 28 are having parallel organization, coordination organization format features. See, value 8 accepts an organization as a 4 plus 4. Further we know value 4 will lead to organization 1, 1 and 1, 4 steps of uniform equal values of fine organization. And value 4 also will lead to sequential quadruple steps. The sequential quadruple steps we know are 1, 2, 3 and 4. If we are reaching value 8 as 4 and 4, then will lead to 8 affine steps. But if we are leading to sequential steps, then we know these will lead to value 10 plus 10 is equal to 20. It is this feature of the interrelationship of value 8 and value 28 which deserves to be comprehended well. Let us recapitulate. The approach to the organization format features of chapter 8 of Srimad Bhagwad Gita as a scripture of 28 shlokas range with 2 shlokas as of Arjuna and remaining 26 shlokas of Lord Krishna permit us to have a bliss which can be imbibed by approaching it as a Yoga Nishtha and Sankhya Nishtha running parallel to each other. Vedic systems simultaneously process of the format of the Yoga Nishtha and a Sankhya Nishtha. Therefore, it will be a blissful exercise to revisit as to how the Sankhya Nishtha, which presumes the existence of a geometric format here of an octagon polygon of value 8, where from each corner there will be a flow of 5 internal diagonals, leads to the value 28, and presuming this format we can work out along the artifices of the values of range 1 to 8, which leads to the factors 20. This way we see that the organization format of chapter 8 Akshar Braham Yoga is a format which is a highly sophisticated mathematical format which is availing polygon 8. From polygon 8 we know at the previous step there will be polygon 7, and the subsequent stage will be of polygon 9. The polygon 7 will lead to 14 internal diagonals. Here we are having 20 internal diagonals, and step ahead we will be having 27 internal diagonals. So polygon 9 with 9 sides, now from each corner will be leading to as many as the 6 diagonals. Therefore 6 into 9 will lead to 54 diagonals. However, the pair of orientations with superimpositions of the orientations will lead us to value 27 as the set of the internal diagonals of polygon 9. Likewise, the polygon 7 will be leading to 4 internal diagonals from each corner point, leading to 4 into 7 is equal to 28, and the pair of orientations will reduce them to value 14. Now see, the polygon 7 leading to value 14, value polygon 8 leads to value 20, polygon 9 leads to value 27. See, the difference value here is 6, which is parallel to 6 space in the role of dimension of 8 space. The difference value here is 7, which is equal to the 9 space in the role of the dimension of a 7 space. Therefore, this is the feature which is the additional feature which deserves to be comprehended well, and same deserves to be tabulated, as that when we will be chasing the organization format of the text of Srimad Bhagwad Geeta along the formats of polygons, then we know the polygon 7 will lead to 14 diagonals, polygon 8 will lead to 20 diagonals, polygon 9 will lead to 27 diagonals, and step ahead polygon 10 we know when we will add value 8 as the dimension of 10 space, so it will be take 35. Step ahead polygon 11 will add value 9, and this value 9 will make it 44. See that this 14 plus 7 is 21, and here it is going to be 28. Here we are having 36, here is 45, and here is 55. We can, from these values tabulation of the polygon 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11, we can reach at the shlokas range of the respective chapters. We know chapter 11 is of 55 shlokas range, and chapter 10 is of 42 shlokas range, and chapter 9 is of 34 shlokas range. See, this is value 2, so 34 and 36, and then here from we know it is from 45 to 42. It is this difference value 2 and difference value 3 which will help us appreciate how the organization formats of the shloka ranges are interconnected with the geometric formats of the polygons. Further, we know that Srimad Bhagwad Gita is of 18 chapters organization. Therefore, chapters 1 to 7 and chapters 12 to 18. In between, there would be range of 4 chapters, 8, 9, 10 and 11. This reach and this organization will be sequentially taken up for their further elaboration. One may have a pause here and take note that the organization format of the text of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which essentially is availing the Sthapatya marine rod format, and from here, from Sthapatya marine rod format, we will be reaching at the polygons format, and from polygons format, we will be reaching at the factors of the whole numbers of spatial format. This interrelationship, this set of features will further help us appreciate that chapter 8 of the text, which is of 28 shlokas range, and the same as Geeta Pranam shloka is of 30 shlokas range. One can have a pause here and note that the formulation Brahm is of TC value 28. However, the ref, which is of value 3, will make it value 30, and value 28 and value 30 are interconnected as dimension and a domain. Further, we know that values range 1 to 28 leads to factors 56 of a linear format and 84 of the spatial format. Further, values range 1 to 30 leads to 60 factors range of linear format and 90 factors of the spatial format. It is this interrelationship of the values 28 and 30 and the organization of chapter 8 Akshar Braham Yog of Srimad Bhagavad Gita being of 28 shlokas range, and the same as per Geeta Pranam shloka is of 30 shlokas range. Therefore, one shall sit comfortably and tabulate these features. One is to be face to face with these features, which will further take us to that electronic configuration of nickel metal will have this orbitals organization, and the element zinc will take us to this tabulation. These tabulations of the elements nickel and zinc and their interrelationship having a factor difference only at this 6th orbital place, where we will be reaching from value 8 to value 10. It is this feature which will ultimately help us appreciate as to how the periodic organization of our universe as the format of Srimad Bhagavad Gita is to be reached. A step ahead we will be appreciating when we will be reaching at the Pushpika of this chapter, which is of 48 aksharas, and we know value 48 is equal to 2 into 4 into 6, which is parallel to the dimensional format of 6 space. Then further we know that the Pushpaka is having 13 padas, which is equal to 13 geometries range of 6 space. All these features as these are available here, which will help us appreciate the organization format of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, laying a big mathematical reservoir of values at its organization, and these set of organization of the chapter 8 will bring us face to face with as to how when we are transcending or reaching ahead from range 1 to 7, from value 7, and we will be reaching at value 8. The value 8 we know is the value, this value 8 we know is the value of a raised to power 4 is to 8, b raised to power 3. So we are transcending from 7 geometries range of 3 space to a boundary of a 4 space. It is this transition which will help us appreciate that this reach from value 7 to 8 is the jump which at hypercircles 1 to 7 increase, and hypercircles 8 onwards there is going to be a decrease. There is going to be a transition and transformation at the middle. Now we know that when we reach from value 1 to 2 from least spatial order, then at the middle the value is 1.5. It is this value 1.5 which will help us appreciate as that how the value, the 14 internal diagonals value on the one side and 14 multiplied by 3 over 2 is equal to 21 is the value on the other hand. Now this value as such is the value which will help us appreciate how we have to transcend from the organization format of heptapolygon, polygon of 7 sides, to the format of polygon of 8 sides. The polygon of 8 sides as such is leading us to value 20, and here we are having values 14. Now it is this feature which deserves to be comprehended well. Let us sit comfortably. Let us be face to face with the organization format of the text of chapter 8 of Srimad Bhagwad Gita, which is a scripture as Akshar Braham Yoga. Now, the chapter 7 is in continuity of chapter 8. Transition from chapter 7 to chapter 8 leads to the answer for the 5 big questions having been raised in chapter 7. The questions are: what is Brahm, Karma, Adhyatam, Adhibhut, Adhidev, Adhiyagya, and how this all functions, operates, organizes, coordinates, leads to life within human frame. All these features are the features, so we have to reach at the format features, the formulations Brahm, Atma, Karm, Bhut, Yagya, Dev, Purush. These features, if we want to have appreciation of these formulations, if we want to be parallel to their geometric formats, their mathematics, their technology, the sciences formulations as these are, then we have to sequentially reach at the organization format of the text itself to have an appreciation of the organization format features of chapter 8, we have to focus upon values range 1 to 8 and the format of octagon, polygon of sides 8. With this reach and by approaching it by Sankhya Nishtha and Yoga Nishtha, we will be in a position to be parallel to this format, features, values of the organization of the text of Srimad Bhagwad Gita. Once we will be face to face with these, once we will be imbibing these format features, then we will be appreciating as to the enlightenment, the knowledge of the text of Srimad Bhagwad Gita, Akshar Braham Yoga, the enlightenment of Lord Krishna to the 5 basic questions being raised by Arjuna in continuity of the knowledge and enlightenment of the reach up till chapter 7. So transition from chapter 7 to chapter 8 is in terms of these 5 basic big questions, and otherwise it is at the format is parallel to a transition from value 7 to value 8, from 7 geometries range of 3 space to boundary of a 4 space, from linear order to a spatial order, from hypercube 7 to hypercube 8, from polygon 7 to polygon 8. And for proper appreciation, we have to have a step ahead and reach at chapter 9 at polygon 9. So for proper appreciation of the organization format features of chapter 8, we have to be face to face the format features of value 8, which accepts an organization 2 raised to power 3, and value 9, which accepts an organization as 3 raised by 2. So it is going to be vertical reflection pairing. It is this vertical reflection pairing. So from the horizontal reflection pairing to vertical reflection pairing is the feature which will come into play, and the seed thought, the foundation of this transition from linear reflection pairing to vertical reflection pairing is inbuilt in the value of the artifices of value 8, or in the spatial order, or in the hypercube 8, or in the format of the octagon of polygon 8. All these things which are at play, at work here in this organization deserves to be comprehended and to be appreciated. From this phase and stage, in the next session, we will be taking up the answers to 5 big questions being unfolded by Lord Krishna from Shloka 3 to Shloka 28. The answers to these 5 big questions are the enlightenment which deserves to be imbibed by the sadhakas, fulfilled with the intensity of urge, to be parallel to the reach of the Vedic systems, as the Srimad Bhagavad Gita being the Vedanta essence, the essence of the Vedic knowledge. Therefore, the sadhakas fulfilled with the intensity of urge to be face to face with the distinguishing features of the axioms and postulates of the Vedic systems from that of the existing axioms and postulates of linear order processing being inherently taken up by the modern systems. Then we have to begin our analysis with the organization of chapter 8, which takes us to polygon, this polygon 8, and the internal diagonals here are 20, and the value 20 we know is the value of the formulation Ved, and this is also TC value of formulation Dev. Further, we know that value 20 is the synthesis value of the pair of transcendence ranges of zero order. Still further, we know that when we will be here at value 20, then the value 8 and value 28 get coordinated in such a way that the affine organization and the sequential organization go parallel to each other. One shall sit comfortably, one shall tabulate these features, and one shall be through it by having a reach and re-reach, visit and fresh visit to all these features, as in terms of these features we shall be taking up the answers of the 5 big questions being raised by Arjuna in Shloka 1 and 2 of the text, which are being answered by Lord in Shlokas 3 to Shloka 28. Thank you very much.